Okay. And boy. Well, I believed that. Hello and welcome to Night Chat. So after viewing the different various videos on gang stalking, I realized what's really going on now. As a victim myself, it's all starting to fit right into common sense. Gang stalking is going to be the new police. Gang stalking is a beta test program. They're beta testing our reactions. They select a few people across the states. Normally it's the elderly. They can't fight back. It's children. I was 10 years old when it started with me. People impoverished are people that have no clout, no voice inside of the society. Gang stalking is the new police program which they plan to roll out on everybody in the near future. If we don't reach the American people and show them the evidence. Gang stalking is the new police. America has finally reached the all-time low. And this has been going on for at least 50 years. And I'll tell you why, because I'm almost 50 years old myself, okay? Now, I can trace this back. I can go further back, but I'll trace it back to at least age 10. I was home alone eating a bowl of cereal. I got a phone call. The phone rang, I answered it, and the man said, "Tony, where's your mom?" And I was like, "She went to my grandma's house." And he goes, "I know you're alone. I'm watching you. And I'll be watching you all your life." And then he hung up. So I was creeped out. I was 10 years old. I'm creeped out. This is 1980. So my mom came home. I told her about it. She thought it was a prank, a prank call, because the person knew my name. And I just never really thought about it again because I didn't really see anything else until I was about 15 years old. I saw a man in the window looking at me. Again, when I was 17, there was a man trying to get in the window. And again, when I was 18, I had just moved into a duplex with my girlfriend. We just had a baby. And there was a man trying to get in our window. And then it goes on, and there's even stuff I'm leaving out. There was a house on the hill where people would stand in the window all night long, naked. Turns out, a couple years later, I find out that was our landlord. I had moved out already, but my sister told me that was the landlord's house. I had about 4 witnesses see this, besides myself. Now I know that they must have had cameras all over the place, watching everything we did. But now I'm also starting to realize that cameras, they might not need cameras anymore. They might be able to use frequency signals to capture a picture and bring it right back. As the signal comes out, it hits you, bounces off, and it pulls back the picture. So it's very possible they don't even need a camera to be right there in your face. Now, when you look at different testimonies from different victims, there's different kinds of gang stalking, and I wonder, some of this stuff is ridiculous, like how people signal you, and I saw one where the cars are always red. But the whole point is to beta test you to see your reaction. They're keeping track of the reaction because when they roll this out, they want to have it perfected. Because you got to imagine they're going to be rolling out. They're going to be rolling out. You got to imagine they're going to be rolling out a secret police on the American people. You got to be prepared for that. That could blow up right in your face, and that's why they're trying to perfect it. They're trying to perfect it, so once they roll this out on everybody, there'll be no way to stop it. And they'll probably say, like, as long as you guys go along with us, we're not going to harm anybody. We're not going to hurt nobody. We're here to help, but this is the way it's going to be. And I say, no, that's not the way it's going to be. No, 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 no. You're not going to be looking inside people's homes anymore. We're going to find out who you are, and we're going to arrest you, and you're going away for the rest of your life. I think anyone that's caught in actual gang stalking for the government, especially the people that are running the programs, they're actually more responsible. They get stiffer penalties. We got to throw the book at these kind of creeps. These kind of creeps got to get the book thrown at them. Oh, life is mandatory. If you're caught gang stalking and you're working for the government, you're getting paid taxpayers' money, then you need to go away for life. I don't believe in capital punishment. I believe in it, but I'm a Christian, so I can't entertain that thought. But before I was a Christian, I believed in it. But I don't believe in it now, so I have to oppose capital punishment. But this is treason. This is crimes against humanity. This is, I don't even know how to describe this. This is like probably the worst thing America's went through since the Civil War. Especially because most of Americans are not prepared for battle. They're not. I'm not. We're not. We're not warriors. We've been tamed down into comfortable little, cuddly little pussycats. But there is way more of us than them, which is good news. And when you think, well, they got the military, they got all the weapons. Well, they don't have all the military. You got to remember, a lot of folks in the military are good people. They have families. And they have consciences. They're not going to do a mass genocide on the American people. There's good folks in the CIA, good folks in the FBI. But someone is obviously running these programs. So it has to be generals, corrupted generals that have to face prosecution. And I won't interfere in any kind of way if prosecutions ever begin and they decide to go with capital punishment. I'm not going to interfere. You have to make examples out of people because you'll be surprised. Example, if you were to arrest one famous face, like Hillary Clinton, for example, you would be surprised on how many more criminals would be arrested, how much easier it would be for the people to accept it. I mean, this is horrible, folks. This is going to hurt so many people when they find out what the government has done to them, betrayed their trust, taken their money, designed weapons to hurt us, and had plans to completely take over the government. In other words, they have plans to go to war with everybody and shut America down and turn it into a new nation. That's what it is. They can call it America. They can have a flag, riding up high with the wind blowing on it, but if there's no freedom, if the Constitution's gone, it's not America. It is not America. Now you have secret police, so we have reservoirs of freedom. There's places where, freedom of speech. That's why I'm able to say this right now, because you have certain freedoms are still there. However, I wouldn't actually be able to say this because they tried to shut me down. They actually did shut me down a year ago when I thought of some horrible stuff and I was making videos on it, and they shut me down. They threatened me. They attempted to murder me several times, and obviously it worked because I am very quiet now, ain't I? So yeah, they actually did violate me on my freedom of speech. But it's because what they're doing is so horrible that the freedom of speech of one person is like the last thing on their mind. If we don't find a way to reach the people, because we gotta reach the people. You don't need everybody, but you do need I would say 10%, 20%. And once they realize there's a secret police they're working on, once they realize that they've been shooting people with weapons and hurting people, and I guarantee you they've been murdering people. I know they've been murdering people. There's no way. These are evil, evil, evil people. So anyways, there's a lot to talk about, a lot to consider, and I definitely can't do anything by myself. I'm just sending the signal out there for you guys to, like a seed, plant this in your mind, water it, let it grow, let it flourish, feed it, then get the transmission out to other people. That now we know the evidence does point to Alex Jones being a shill, because he's covering fluoride in the water that's going to kill you when you're 78 years old, while the government is setting up a secret police program that will definitely love to kill you in the present time. The immediate threat is the gang stalking. That's the immediate threat. Fluoride, all the other things, yeah, those are threats. Those are long-term threats. We have immediate threats. You have immediate threats and long-term threats. What you have to deal with right now is the immediate threat. While Alex Jones has been doing a show for, 20 years? They've been setting up this police program, perfecting it, growing it, and I don't know how big this thing is, but I'm sure it's bigger than we think. I remember one time I moved in with a friend across the street, and I was about to go in the house and somebody punched the fence. And when I ran across the yard, looked over the fence, there was no one there. And then I was going back in the house again, they punched it again. And he said, oh, someone's messing with you. No, because the next day, or was it that night? That night or the next day, that's when that person tried to sneak inside the window. So it's all connected. And now we'll get into the real truth, which, again, Alex Jones won't cover because he's trying to get his image respected, honorable, like he says, though he won't cover gang stalking. The truth is, when you really get down to what this is really about, is Earth has been invaded by alien greys. They were here a long time ago. They got wiped out. They came back again. They got wiped out. They got wiped out a few times. In the past 5,000 years overall, it's been quiet. It's been mostly humans. Up until the 1920s, 1930s, when Aleister Crowley murdered a bunch of children to Satan, doing black magic rituals, opened up portals, allowing the gray aliens to come through. Then you have the crash at Roswell, the cover-up with the government. You got millions and millions of missing hybrid children. Women will get raped by the gray alien, impregnated, and right before birth, the baby would be missing from their womb. A baby that was half human and half reptilian hybrid. Now you have star symbols all over the world, flooding the culture of America. Starbucks, Nike, Kia, Mercedes, Mercury, Saturn. I mean, this goes on and on and on and on, which all dates back to 6,000 years ago, when there was child sacrifice to the devil. Because they're back, and they're doing the same thing they did before. They're murdering people to the devil to get this demonic energy power to take us over, because they want us to be slaves again. But they kind of forget that God is not afraid to wipe them out. If they forget that God wiped them out before, and He's going to wipe them out again. But they do know that God isn't going to wipe them out as a whole until the Antichrist system has lived out its part. It's prophesied in the Bible that the Antichrist will show up. He will cause more pain, more death, more destruction than this earth has ever seen. And he's promising the hybrids eternal life. So they're being seduced. And they're probably being given stimuli to keep them in order. But, of course, the devil can't keep that promise, because he's only a fallen angel, very powerful one, but he's still only a fallen angel that's trying to come up against God, the creator of every single universe, every single piece of matter. The devil cannot create any matter whatsoever. He can only take matter that's already there and manipulate it. So the gang stalking has to do with the new police that's going to be rolled out on everybody worldwide when they get their New World Order government established. It's already here, but it's not complete. They're going to send off a few nukes. Possibly Planet X will hit the planet. An asteroid of some sort. Possibly. Then you have the great alien scare. And someone's going to rise up out of all the darkness and say they're our friends. Say they're our friend. They're going to come with the cure to cancer and a whole bunch of other life extensions. Most of the world's going to believe it because they're in sin, and when you're in sin, you don't hear the voice of God so clearly. You get separated from God, the creator of all things. When you give in to sin, there's a veil between you and the Creator. People are going to fall for this lie, thinking me, 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 me. So what if other people died? So what if other people were tortured? So what if other people were victims to the gang stalking world and other atrocities by the same people that are bringing out these life extensions? Me, 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 me. And as soon as the devil gets his empire and he's about to say, yeah, God's going to show on up and kick his ass. Then the Christians, we go up to meet Christ up in the sky. The Bible's real clear. When Christ comes back, he's not going to walk around the earth talking to people. The Bible's clear. He's going to come floating down above Mount Olive. There's going to be earthquakes and explosions all around the world while his glory comes with him. All the angels are coming with him. The world's going to catch on fire from the glory. Everything's going to start to melt. True Christians that are not watered down, lukewarm, are going to go up to the air to meet Christ, while the world is just a big fiery ball of hell. Then we go up to to heaven, with our new bodies. We get new bodies. We're there for 1,000 years, which is one day for God. It's the 7,000 year, which is the Sabbath. Right now we're in 6,000 years since the birth of, since the fall of Adam and Eve. No one knows how long they were in the garden. They could have been in the garden for millions of years. They could have been there for trillions of years. No one knows how long they were there. There could have been dinosaurs, all kinds of other activity outside the garden. But inside the garden, they were safe. They had light covering their bodies. They had an extra dimension to them. They could move by thought. Anyways, the world's a big fireball now. We're in heaven for 1,000 years, which is one day to God. It's the seventh day for God since the fall of man, which is 7,000 years. So 6,000 years, it's over. We are already entering 6,000 years since the death of Christ. 2033, Christ would have been 33 years old. It would be an anniversary to his death. Though they found out they were off by 4 years, so it would really be 2029. 2029, Christ will be 33 years old. It will be 2,000 year anniversary since his death, which gives us the 6,000 year marker. Where by now the Sabbath is beginning, the seventh day rest, and a day is 1,000 years of God. That's 7,000 years. So by that time, it's done. Everything's going to transpire in the next 12 years. Everything. And it's over. Everything they're building is a waste of time. It's like building this beautiful tower, and as soon as you're about to put the top on it, it gets knocked down. Beautiful to them, not to us. So the most important thing for us, number one, is to get your heart right with Christ, Jesus Christ, Joshua, who is also the father of Abba, the creator of all things, and follow the 10 Commandments, plus forgive your enemies, pray for them, and pray daily to the Father in his Son's name, Jesus Christ, Joshua. And second of all, we try to work on the laws of the government to keep them safer for our fellow man. Because we do not believe in torture. We don't believe in death. We don't believe in people spying on people. We believe in privacy. We believe in peace. We believe in rest. We believe that every man has a right to water, food, and property, and land. And every man has a right to a happy family and to grow and to have the right to choose what they want to do, who they want to worship. We believe that. As long as you're not hurting no one else, you're good to go. We prefer that you're a Christian, but as long as you're not hurting no one else, you're okay. That's not the case with this government. This government is completely out of control, has completely went rogue. They've stolen so much property from people. They've murdered so many people. They start wars with the entire world for the last 60 years. There's over 50 million abortions. It's all part of the sacrifice to the devil. But it's hidden, but it's right in front of your face, yet it's hidden. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Get your heart right with God. We are definitely looking at some darker days in America. We turned our back on God as a nation. And God is like, well, fine. You're on your own. But you can still save yourself. Get close to God. And together we'll work this out the best way we can. God bless you all. Thank you.